All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's do a sound and audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? Yeah, Rufus. White beanie. I've been lazy. I haven't wanted to do my hair. Plus, I just showered and woke up from a nap. I typically don't wear beanies, but just in a hoodie, not a hoodie, in a nice sweatshirt. Trying to get better. Voice is sounding better. Thanks, Jibo. I feel better. It's just a cough. Time. Yeah, I got some Topstep swag in the mail. Bear Dakota is here to stay. Sounds better tonight. All right, let's get in. Let's get into slow markets. Anybody? Welcome everybody. I am Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, our top step risk disclosure is in the YouTube chat. Everything we're going to be going over tonight is for the live markets. You can see that behind me, and it's for educational purposes only. How's everybody doing today? It's Tuesday. We got through a couple really slow, boring days in the market. Let me see if I could get a poll, because I'm really curious on this. Give me a moment. I'm going to get a poll into the chat. So here's the poll. Got wrecked, David. Been a great day. Green day. Trading bad. Let me get a poll. I want to know who's new here. Who is new here? So if you want to go ahead and let me know if you are new to slow markets, and then maybe even in the chat, let me know where you're from. John, you are from Lehigh. So you're about 20 miles from me, maybe 15 miles. Really close. New to the like button. Dakota, in my country time, it's 4 a.m. now. You're still awake just to know my secret. Well, I've been working on trying to see if I could do a London Open session. So maybe you don't have to wake up so long. Couple from Arizona, LA, New Zealand. We have a New Zealand, some Canada. Derek, you're from American Fork. Canab, we got a few people from Utah here. Enjoying that Utah weather where it snows like, I think there's a foot of powder at some of the resorts. This past week, Tucson, Arizona. New to slow markets, but first time catching it live. 3 a.m. here in Germany. Alejandro, Peru. I spent about a month in Peru last month. I want to go back to Peru. I'm going to be honest, guys. I definitely want to go back to Peru and spend another 2-3 months in Peru. Texas. No, Washington. Not sure what that means. Miami, from heaven. All right, guys, let's go to it. Yeah, weather in Michigan is horrible. We love the weather. We love rain. We love moisture. I can't wait till I start feeling better. Then I can go outside. How do you claim the 5K hat? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. The 5K hat. Jay, food in Peru is bomb. I actually ate a guinea pig. Yeah, Peru is interesting, guys. They serve the guinea pig just on the plate. It was really weird. And it was the first time I ever, and this is weird, first time I ever had hot chocolate in Peru, and they didn't put the sugar in it. And I took a big drink of the hot chocolate, and it tastes so bitter. Phoenix 5K in payouts. Peruvian marching powder. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the Nasdaq. Here is Nasdaq. Okay, here's the Nasdaq, guys. Here is what I'm looking at. This is what I am looking for. And as I go through class, as always, we have some amazing moderator team. If I do not get to your question, you can copy paste it in the chat, and our team will pull your guys' questions that I do miss, and they'll send them to me here in a chat. And yeah, that being said, also, actually, I'll tell you guys this in a minute. Halfway through the class, I'll let you on a little secret of what's going to be going on this week. Starting out in slow markets. Yeah, so wait, I'm going to watch. Usually the viewers will start to come in a little bit through, and I'll just drop some awesome news that's going to be coming. And it's going to be good for you guys. Everybody here in slow markets, you guys are going to be getting the treat first. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know. This is a 60-minute Nasdaq chart, and look at this. I drew this because this helps visualize what I'm looking at and what I was looking at, and a little bit because I had so many traders ask me. If you guys watched Fast Markets, guess what? I was looking to short 18,260, and I ended up shorting 18,260, and I ended up making a pretty decent amount of money off this trade. That was the trade. And so I want to talk through why I was looking at this short, because I'm a bull, right? Everyone knows I'm a bull, but it does not mean I will not take shorts. So we have this bearish trend line, and everyone knows a trend line is not exact. It's a zone. And I hope this helps visualize kind of what I'm looking at, right? Where we have this downtrend and the market's not going to go up. It's not going to hit an exact price point and then turn around. At least not all the time. So this was the zone I was looking at. And then if we zoom in into April, because this is where the consolidation was back on April 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Look at all this support that we had here. There's a lot of support in this zone, right? And so I'm like, if the market's going to turn around, there could definitely be, this could be a spot, right? We don't know anything for certain. We never know what the markets could do. Anything can happen. But today, as the markets were rallying up, this is a decent zone that we could get in short. I got in at like 54. So I got in a little bit early. So I entered in one contract at 254. We popped up again. I got in, two more contracts at like 260. I can't remember. I was in an overall of 3 contracts. I ended up closing them a little bit early. I didn't hold out for this entire sell-off. I ended up getting out at like 228, 229. So I closed out early. That's a negative side of my trading, is because I am a bull. I don't let my shorts run as much as I should. But that's what I was looking at today during the Nasdaq. And sure enough, I want a pullback. I'm a bull trader, and I am expecting a pullback, and I'm wanting a pullback. I would actually like to see a pullback back down towards 18,000, 18,100, and see if we could have some of this support back in April. You see the support you guys see? I want to see if this will become support again. So I would really like the Nasdaq to sell off and see if we can find support right around 18,100 to 18,050s. Pretty much this nice zone. And so I was also looking for a pullback, which gave me all the more reason to short it. And that was the main trade for me. Pretty much during the New York session, during fast markets, the house account took it, and it was a positive trade. Unfortunately, they got the house account got stopped out on that wick. They got stopped out right at 65, and the high of the day was 66 and a quarter. Man, that was rough, right? So I'm still expecting looking for a pullback. We did have a little bit of sell-off. And even if we look at a daily chart, so here's a daily chart. We have kind of a indecisive candle today, doji, whatever you want to call it. We could have a pullback. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get one to have some type of a sell-off and find some type of a pivot, some type of a support around, oh man, struggling with my charts. So around here. So I'm going to be cautious. I'm still a bull. I'm still going to be looking for areas to buy it because we are broken into this, this giant consolidation from March and April. And so there definitely is a decent probability that we can rally back to the highs of like 18,400s, 18,500s to the top of this consolidation, right? Because when we enter into a consolidation zone, it is reasonable to maybe see that we go to the top of this consolidation. However, I of course want to see some pullbacks to find some buying opportunities because this is a big move. We went from 17,400 all the way up to 17,000, or 18,000, 250s. So $800 move or 800 point move. So I'm a bull. I'm not as bullish up here because I would much rather find opportunities to be buying from a pullback. If we do rally and get up here, I'm probably going to not make as much money. I'm probably going to have a hard time finding entries because I'm going to be very hesitant if we do rally until we get some type of a pullback. So on the Nasdaq, I'm going to just wait and see what happens. We can zoom into a 5-minute chart. I'm going to just be looking for areas to be buying on the pullback. It's hard to trade and get in and find areas of opportunity to get in when the market does not pull back and give you those opportunities. Okay, let's get to a couple more questions. Karen, if you get into a trade, one that you have lots of confidence in, if it goes out of the money right away, do you stick with it and let it play out? So for me, yes. When I get into a trade, I 99% of the time just let it hit my stop loss. I enter the trade for a reason, and the trade is valid until it hits my stop loss. And I put my stop losses in areas where the trade is no longer valid. Very, very rarely do I just close it out for no reason. Do I close it out based off of a feeling, based off of emotion? So most of the trades you see me take hit my stop loss. You guys seen, if you watched Topstep Fast Markets today during TopstepTV earlier, I placed my trade and I was perfectly fine going up, getting a drink, turning off my computer. I'd go to lunch, whatever. And I just let the trade play out. And it's a very difficult thing to do. Whereas it was nice because the house account took the same trade. Everyone was watching, getting updates. It was nice to see. I loved the fact that we were able to put a trade on the house account and just let it work out. Because guess what? If the house account didn't get stopped out at the top tick, we would have caught that sell-off, and that would have been an amazing trade for a house account, even though it was on for like 3 hours, right? And so even though it might not take 30 seconds, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, to me, my trades that I look for are typically valid until price confirms it's not. Very rarely do I take trades. I'm like, okay, it's taking too long. I'll close it out. Sometimes I will. Very rarely do I do that, but time is not too big of a factor in my trading. It just depends on what I'm doing, right? If I only plan to be in a trade, I'm like, okay, this is a quick scalp for this reason. I want to be in and out for like 3-4 minutes. Then yes, I have an understanding that if I don't get that momentum burst, then I just need to get out of it. But a lot of the technical analysis that you see me do here in slow markets that I'm going to be talking about has nothing to do with time. My average hold time during my slow markets class could be like 6 hours. I'll fall asleep. I'll turn my computer off. I'll go watch Netflix. I'll go eat dinner. I don't care what happens in the market. I place the trades based off of probabilities and my statistics. and then the market does the rest. Dakota, where was your stop loss on that trade? The trade earlier today, my stop loss, I believe, was around 70. Let me see. This was the trade. I had a little bit of a wide stop loss. So essentially I got in like right here, and I did have a little bit of a wide of a stop loss. So hope that explained it. One more question. We'll move on to crude oil. Talk about some of these other markets as well. Dakota, what would be your ideal zone for you to enter your next long trade? So I think I just went through that, Joel. I think I said that correct. My ideal entry on the Nasdaq, like I was talking about earlier, is going to be right around 18,050. So I just like to see support become resistance, resistance become support. My ideal entry and what I would love to have is a nice buy and some type of reversal pattern around this zone, if we could get down there. If not, then maybe we could come and see this. But it's very hard to say the ideal entry. I'm just looking for areas of support in a bullish market to buy it. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Anyway, crude oil. Crude oil. I made some good money on crude oil. I had 2 trades on crude oil. One was a loss, and then one was a win. So the first trade, both of these were during TopstepTV during fast markets. My first trade, I was buying it. Let me see. I have to zoom into a 5-minute. So essentially what I was looking at, we're in this down market. We are starting to find some support here. So I was looking to buy around $78 a barrel. And so today during fast markets, what I seen and what I was looking for, I was a little bit early. I was buying right here. I was actually buying this as we were showing some support, and I explained it live. So I bought this. Wait, no, wrong. Nope, it was this. This is a correction. I bought here. This is on the 5-minute during the TopstepTV. We sold off, and we all know oil likes to run stops. This was the low from the other yesterday. And so we ran down, we stop hunted, we rallied straight up, we sold off. I bought right here. I got stopped out. I got my stop loss ran. However, I did end up re-entering right here. So I got my stop loss ran. We rallied up. We had a nice little reversal. I got in the trade here, and then I ended up closing it up here. It made up for this loss and then some. So that was a nice trade. Yeah, I wish I would have held it longer. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. To hold it throughout that entire move, because that we rallied all the way up to $79 a barrel. Yeah, Donald. I was focusing on a Nasdaq trade, so I didn't let my oil trade hold for very long. So going into tonight, I think it's the same thing for me on crude oil. Essentially, we're still kind of just rejecting anything up here. So I'm okay for right now buying dips and looking for pushes against this channel. I mean, essentially, this is a channel, right? And maybe even if we look at a higher time frame, like a daily, this is what I'm looking for. I was looking for this on crude oil for a little while since we started this sell-off. This was major resistance, and we're looking for major resistance to become support. And so this is a daily chart, and so I am looking for this to become support. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities to get long oil in this zone. And that's what I'm going to do. And sure, this is a downtrend, but overall, bullish, right? That's okay to have pullbacks. We are in an intermediate, downtrend right now. If we continue to sell off, then I'll take a loss, and so be it. But yeah, this is major. I mean, this is a major resistance, and we can definitely see some more chop. We could find some more buyers in this area, in this zone. And so as we start to zoom in, yep, we know this is a trend. We know that this is a channel, and this is a channel going down and to the right. And so it's obviously, it's pretty simple with hindsight to sell these rallies. Has been good trades. But since we've gotten down to this zone, our pushes have not been being extended, right? We're not getting a lot of momentum when we sell off. We're not getting any follow through. And there's been a lot more buying down here in this zone. And so I am definitely going to be looking for an opportunity to find some longs back into this zone. Because even if we push back down here, maybe we get to $78 a barrel and I look for a long. It's also a cheap trade, right? Where we could get long here, stop loss there, take profit up here, or maybe just somewhere in between. So I'm still bullish crude oil in this area. And plus, any headline will just make crude oil. We'll push crude oil, and we'll rally, $1 or $2 on any headline that's negative that happens geopolitically around the world. So that's what I'm looking for going tonight. I'm not looking to short crude. I'm actually looking to be buying crude. Couple more questions. We're about halfway through. So a couple more questions. Let me take a look at Nikkei and get to some more of these questions, guys. Wedging and make a higher low. Samu, yes, that's what I'm looking at. We broke the other day on ceasefire news. Okay, Diego. Hey, coach, what time frame do you get your levels from? By the way, do you use contract adjustment settings for the gaps? So I just use the continuous chart on NinjaTrader. Topstep X, I mean, it updates for you. But the time frames I like to get my levels, of course, just like tonight, guys. I start on higher time frames, daily, 60-minute, and then I'll zoom into a 5-minute, and then it just depends on what session I'm trading as well. Slow markets, hourly, 5-minute. When I'm trading the New York session, 5-minute and even 100 tick. But the markets are fractal. Here's the Nikkei. So this is the Japanese market, ticker symbol NKD. I was looking to get long on Nikkei. We've had this nice sell-off. I'm looking at this as a pullback right now. I was actually waiting for this level of around 38, 300s, like 38, 30, 380, maybe 400. I was waiting for this. We sold off. We still might get it. This is the level that I'm looking for here on Nikkei. And yeah, we kind of are hesitating around here. Now here, as in 38 450s, we can see some resistance here, some here. So this is kind of a really big zone. I would much rather take a better risk reward if we did get down to 370s to 400s, to where I could get in short or long here and then have a much better risk reward. I'm not sure. I'm gonna continue to watch this. I'm not seeing anything too attractive tonight for me to trade. It's all looking kind of iffy on most of the stuff that I'm seeing. Let me see. Dakota, what are your criterion in placing your stop loss, support, and resistance, account percent, or points? So my stop losses are always based off support and resistance. Tomorrow's Wednesday, guys. I'm actually trying to get a guest on for Topstep TV here during slow markets. Coach Jay, if you're in the chat, do you want to join me tomorrow? I'm wanting to talk more about ATR and stop losses, because this is a question that's starting to become a lot more common. I started to mention ATR. I'm starting to mention average to range. Where do we put our stop losses today? Trading during the New York session with the house account. I'll reach out to Coach Jay if he wants to join me. Let's go ahead. Oh, there you go. There you go. Let's do it, because I think it's becoming more and more a talking of a subject, right? Because we seen the house account, it just barely got ticked out, and the house account still made money. Man, I have to give props to Andre. He did amazing executing today. He was in, he was out, he made decisions, he hit, closed some off for take profit. It was great to trade today with Andre behind the wheel. It was great, right? Of course, there's always some small techniques and little tiny things that you never know what can happen, right? Where if, like today, where Nasdaq just bounced up, it hit a stop loss and it turned around. And so I guarantee you that there's a lot of traders here that are in the similar boat as the house account, where they get stopped out and the market turns around and it goes into the direction that they wanted. And that's so frustrating. So, Coach Jay, it sounds like we're on for tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to dive more in depth about an average to range and maybe where we're going to be putting stops, how to put stops, using different time frames, maybe different ATR settings. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, every freaking day, it happens to me. It happens to everybody, just getting stopped out. Where do we put our stop losses? Do we put them a percentage away? Do we put them so many points? Do we put them above support and resistance? That is one of the hardest parts to trading. It's easy to get in. It's hard to get out. So yeah, I think that's part of it. Where do we put our stop losses? I try and show you guys where I like to put my stop losses live. For example, if I was long the Nikkei right now, if I was long right here, right now, let's say I got long here, my stop loss would be right there. Now, what this means is I know and I understand the Nikkei and how the Nikkei reacts, because each market is unique in its own way. Each market has its own nuances. Each market has its own, fingerprint per se. I know how the Nikkei reacts, and the Nikkei is really good at not being very whipsaw compared to like the Nasdaq, right? So if I was long the Nikkei right now, I like my stop loss right here at 38,415, say, because I know it's not going to just come down, run stops, and do that. Well, I don't know. Let's just say the odds are very less likely compared to if this was the Nasdaq. Oh, very much this type of a scenario could happen, because that's what the Nasdaq is. And so each market has its own personality. And that's why, as coaches, and I know the other coaches could vouch for this, and they say the same thing, is we recommend as new traders maybe focusing on one market, getting good at it, getting consistent at it, learning that market in and out, and the nuances, going from there. And I'm not recommending trading the Nikkei. The Nikkei is not for 50K accounts. It's just an example, right? Whereas we look at the Nasdaq, and we talk about the same thing on the Nasdaq, even on the longer time frames, right? This is a 60-minute chart, and we start to zoom in to, say, a 5-minute chart. Like, look at this, right? The probability of a stop run is very high here on the Nikkei, because guess what? Where was the stop run today on the Nasdaq? I mean, the Nasdaq stop run was right there, right at the freaking house account. It ran the house account. So the probabilities of stop runs, and look, here's a stop run to the downside. So the Nasdaq is very whipsaw, runs for stops, and we'll talk about gold in a little bit, Bull. So there we go. Coach Jay and I, we're booked tomorrow. We're going to talk more about ATRs, putting stop losses, and maybe a little bit more in depth when it comes to that. Couple more questions, and we'll jump over to gold. Classify it as major resistance because of how hard the sell-off was from the stage. It's hard to classify major, minor support and resistance. Usually the higher time frame, the the more major the resistance, support resistance. Why do trend line work? Like the one you used today in the Nasdaq in fast markets. Why do trend lines work? Markets are fractal. Very basic technical analysis. The more simple you can make it, the better it is. Because the more simple it is, the more people that look for it and the more people that look at it are seeing the same thing, right? Say we look at a 5-minute time frame. Sure, so X amount of people look at the support and resistance in these areas. But then we look at a 60-minute time frame. Then we have a lot more people, and maybe even no longer just day traders. We're also looking at swing traders. We're looking at maybe even longer term traders, institutes. They're looking at areas of liquidity, right? They're looking at areas of support and resistance. We're looking at areas to put stop losses, take profits, and so it's the same concept for trend lines as well, right? Not only levels, but it's the same thing for trend lines. So we have a trend line here, and it's the same thing. Everybody sees this. Maybe there's algorithms coded. Maybe there's me. Maybe there's you. Maybe there's a whole community of people looking at this, and they are looking at similar things. I don't use Bookmap, but yep, that is the answer to that. Let's take a look at gold. We have so many gold traders, and there's a sell-off. There is a sell-off. I was just going to say I'm bearish gold because guess what? Resistance. We had a little bit of a breakdown here, and we had a fake out. We pushed right back down, and we were trying to hold this. This became resistance, and so we're starting to trend down. And then I'm looking for gold to come back down to this zone. This has been a good zone for gold to trade around $2,300. Sure enough, as I was talking, that we just broke through that. Gold likes to move in the middle of this. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in. Hourly chart. We do have some support that we need to get through if we're trying to sell off here, which I'm okay. I think we can, maybe. I like this as bigger support, right? This is two areas. If we break through this, most likely we could get to 2,300. If we zoom into a 5-minute chart, let's take a look. Man, that happened just, 5 minutes ago, too. Yeah, that was quick. Let's see. So we actually found support right here, right at 23.15. Like this level immediately found some buyers. Look at that. Yeah, this is a nice zone right around 23.15, 23.14 to 23.16. We immediately sold off down there, and buyers stepped right back in. Let's see. Not much to really talk about with gold other than that, right? I still like a short gold. This is a 5-minute chart. Let's go back to a 60-minute because I like the higher time frames. So I do like a short gold. Equities are rallying. Things are looking more positive, right? And we're kind of just starting to sell off. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see gold back down to 2,300. Nice. Bull. I picked up 3K off that sell-off. On this little 5-minute sell-off, you picked up 3K. Coach Dakota, thank you for guiding new traders. Can you please explain how you reached 180 to buy? I'm not sure what you mean by that. How I reached 180 to buy. My favorite time frame is the 1 hour and the 5-minute Miami. Okay, we're halfway through. Let's go ahead. So here's the news, guys. I'm dropping the news, and I'm dropping it to you guys first. And I told you, everybody here, I told you guys I'm working my hardest to get the traders here in slow markets, the goods, the sweet stuff, the good stuff before anybody else. Okay, so there will be a fire drill this week, and we are going to do it first here in slow markets. So fire drill coming to slow markets before it gets to Topstep TV daytime. So I don't know when. I haven't been told when yet. It could be tomorrow. It could be Thursday. But it will be in slow markets first before it gets to Topstep TV. I don't know when. It's not tonight. But stay tuned. Like I said, there is a reason to be here at slow markets first because I'm fighting to give away free stuff. I'm fighting to get the information first. I have a lot of people I'm talking to at Topstep, like Mick, MP, Danielle is my favorite, of course. And then Sarah Hecker is another one of my favorites. I mean, all of them. I can't really put them in order. Always trying to get the inside scoop, but yeah. And let me make sure I gave all the information. Let me make sure. Yeah, that got you guys excited, right? What's a fire drill, Space? What is a fire drill? It is for a one free reset. So it's a full free reset. So it's not for, it's a full reset. So there you go, guys. Yeah, that got everybody excited. Yeah, so usually what happens is you'll show up, there'll be a form, and Danielle, the Topstep team, they'll pin a form to the YouTube chat, whether it's tomorrow or the next day during the fire drill. You fill out the information on the form, and then you will be able to, that's the fire drill. Free reset, right? And 30%, the poll I put out earlier, it showed new to slow markets. 30% of you guys are brand new. What's your guys' opinions? I still haven't seen my scorecard yet. I'll probably see my scorecard here pretty soon. How are you guys liking slow markets? What's your thoughts? How is a way that I can improve other than me getting better, so I could speak a lot better? I don't have to worry about coughing and all of that. Yeah, there you go, Danielle. One free reset. Just come here and sign up. You'll get it in Topstep TV. You'll get it here in slow markets before Topstep TV. Great education. Yeah, and it's free, right? You don't have to sign up for anything. Slow markets is free. It's free here on YouTube. Not charging anybody anything. All right, Hoop. Yep. Okay, there we go. Dubs if you took the NKD. Yeah, and this Nikkei long is working out. I didn't get filled. I was trying to get 38,400. Dakota, what happens if you earn more than 50% total profits in one day? Do you need to reset account? No, Tekka. You do not need to reset account if you earn more than 50% profits. You'll just have to earn a little bit more. Those rules are explained. I don't have those rules memorized, but on the Topstep website, they have an amazing area where you can go and get those detailed rules. What can we trade with a combine for after hour? I mean, it's the same thing I go through every single night. You could trade these in a combine. You could trade the Nasdaq, crude oil, Nikkei, gold. I know Coach Jay, he was trading currencies. You can trade currencies here at Topstep, currency futures. Here's trading the Japanese yen, right? Just because we're a futures company, that's a prop firm. I mean, there's currency futures. I trust currency futures a whole lot more than I just trust trading currencies. And I come from a currency background. I actually spent some time in an older prop firm, and they traded futures. And it was a little kind of like the Wild West, right? Because it's not centralized. We have a crazy spread, but we have currency futures here at Topstep, And yeah, they are. I haven't dipped my toes in them yet, but maybe that's something that we can cover. I know Coach Jay trades it, and tomorrow we'll have him on. We could pick his brain a little bit about his trades. I know he had a yen trade last week or the week after that when he was on. What time frame do I like to trade? It depends on the session, right? And I've said this a few times, where my slow markets, I like a 60-minute chart and then a 5-minute chart. During fast markets, during the New York session, I like a 5-minute chart and a 100-tick chart. Coach, can you talk about the size of risk per trade, risk per day? Okay, that deserves a whole session of itself. HS in Dig TV. Coach Dakota, can I talk about the risk size and the risk percentage? Let me create a day, because this is a great question and it deserves a more in-depth answer, okay? I'm going to try and dedicate a day to talk more just only about risk, because I feel like 10, 15 minutes is not enough. So I'm going to pass on that question, Dig TV, and I'm going to explain that maybe another day. And all these things are on YouTube. Everything here on YouTube is recorded. I need to work out and try and maybe to figure out a better way to maybe, in these last 30 minutes, I'm only going to be doing this. Maybe I go 30 minutes longer and I talk about risk, and then we could clip that 30-minute video and put it on YouTube here on the TopstepTV YouTube playlist. So that's still in the progress. My number one priority is me just getting healthy first, and then we can start figuring out that kind of stuff. Because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm talking about here in my slow markets that I would love to have clipped out and put in a 5-minute, 10-minute video and explain it more in depth, right? Instead of just kind of a very informal, just, hey, here's a question, answer it, right? At least a teaser on risk. For my live account, guys, just maybe here's a brief example. For my live account, 0.25% per trade, right? Right now I'm at 160,000. I made $5,000 today. I'm at 160,000. Maybe we could do that. I haven't showed this for a little bit. I know you guys love seeing this stuff. I'll pull up my live account and you guys could see it. Let's see. I'm in your slow markets class. This is where I am struggling. NQ gives a lot, but also takes away a lot. I'm working on clearing 5 50K combines. Can you please recommend what would be the right market to trade on a 50K account? I would recommend trading micros on a 50K account. Yeah, micros, maybe ES, maybe crude oil, something that's not as crazy and as volatile. Yeah, I hope that explains it. Okay, here we go. Here's my live account. Let me get to Christopher Kramer. Am I starting to like fast markets more? No, I love slow markets more. I do love fast markets a whole lot more. Or slow markets. Slow markets is my thing, right? It's always something I'm looking at. Slow markets is where I trade the most. I am starting to practice a lot more during the New York session and trading the New York session. And that's it. So here's my live account. Everybody knows it. Here has been my trading for May. May's been good. Yesterday, that was not a great day. It was kind of just sitting on my hands, right? So let me zoom in. You probably can't even see this. Yeah, there we go. There's this. Man, it's bright. I don't like the white. It is really bright. Anyway, so, yep, this has been May. I ended April on a negative note. That was an ugly end to end April. But May's been good to me. Yes, the other day, markets have been just choppy. So as to be expected, choppy. I was up like 430, gave like $200 back. I ended the day $137. Decent scratch day. But look at this. You don't need to average a lot of money. You don't have to go for huge profitable days. Look, average daily P&L, $800. $800 for an average daily P&L. That's all you need. If you could average $800, you'll be set. And I know it's a little bit higher because I started on like middle of January and I was trading XFAs. So I was trading express funded accounts. So my average since I started is a little bit higher. When I was trading XFAs, my average was like I think it was like $2,000 a day. But that was a very small sample size. But ever since in my live account, $800 a day on average, good risk reward ratio, nothing. This isn't amazing, guys. This is not amazing statistics in terms of they're not like you're making thousands and thousands of dollars a day. I have this crazy high win percentage. I have this crazy high risk reward ratio. It's average, right? Yeah, that's it. That is it. So anyway, those are my live accounts. So yeah, think of it as a long term. Think of it as think of it as a marathon, because we're looking to be trading the same account in a year from now. We're looking to have the same account in 2 years from now, 5 years from now. We're not looking to just trade, try and hit it big. You either win a lot of money, or you blow your account. We are looking for traders. I'm looking for trading as well. And the way I view my trading is this is the same account I'm going to be having my entire career here at Topstep. As I will always be trading at Topstep, this is going to be my live account. This is my live account. When I open up my personal account, if I go to my own personal broker and I put my own personal money in, I want to have that account for the rest of my life. That's the reality of it. So I'm not going to risk blowing that account because I want to have that account for the rest of my life. I'm okay if I make 200, lose 200, make 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Over a period of, 2-3 years, then it's going to be the true statistics, right? Not looking at what happens in a day, not looking at really what happens in a week, because when you review your statistics in a year, you're not going to zoom into like, that was the worst trade ever this year. Like, no, how is my statistics over the period of a whole entire year? And you're not going to make your decisions based off of a single trade. You're like, oh, my whole strategy is crap because of one trade, or my whole strategy is crap because of one day. It's like, no, my strategy is based off of 3 months or 6 months or a year, depending on what you're looking at. So, man, that was it. Richard Harris, Dakota, you won't ever trade Apex. I've actually played Apex for like with one of my friends. Apex Legends, right? I played it once. I didn't really like it. It's like where you have like it's a shooting game, right? It's like one of those first. PUBG is better. Yeah, I'm not into Apex. I've played Fortnite a couple times. No Apex platform. What do you mean Apex? Oh. Those that goes to my spam email. No. Those. We don't talk about them in here. Nope, we don't talk about those in here. What's my strategy? I talk about my strategy every night, guys. You guys get to see me trade live all the time. MP has entered the chat. Yeah, that's going to cause some That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. You know what we need? If I'll have to check. I'm going to be on Topstep TV, me and Coach Jay, Friday morning, like early in the morning for the market open. If MP is there, I'm going to ask him a question. That should bring on a fun rant. We all love MP's rants. I have a good question for him that we'll go through Friday morning. It has nothing to do about them. It has something completely different. Just my live account. I do not trade express funded accounts. Just my live account. What size of trading account do I recommend for a beginner? Smallest account size you could get for a beginner. You don't need to pay for anything big. 50K account. Topstep is running that deal, right, for like $19. We have the fire drill. Okay, to be honest, guys, I don't know how much I should say this, but to be honest, if you're new here at Topstep, or if you're just watching this, if you're just joining this for the first time, which I see like 30% of you guys are new here, to be honest, what Topstep does for you guys is beyond what they probably should, in my opinion. If you open up an account, you could get an account for like $19, and then within a month, you could probably get a freaking free reset, or at least get a discount reset. You just have to watch Topstep TV, maybe do the quiz, right? And if it was me, and if I was to start everything over again, I would do that. I would open up a 50K account for $19, and if I blow out of it, I would just watch Topstep TV, wait for a free reset, get the free reset. And I wouldn't pay a single dime for a year based off of what Topstep's doing, right? Topstep's is doing that to where since I started coaching and helping Topstep, I probably could have got a free reset every single month. And if you just trade one account, and even if you do blow that account, you probably never even had to pay a single dime, just free reset. Like that was it, right? And even if you're talking about the rebuild, it's discounts, right? And probably you could just cancel it, wait for a discount, which Topstep has been amazing at doing, or do the Topstep quiz. Like, there's so much free stuff and so much that Topstep is doing for traders that are new and trying to help us out with this new platform, with Topstep X, getting oriented into it, getting into this, helping the new traders. The Topstep support team's been amazing. They've been like going crazy with how big Topstep's really got. So yeah, and I know they say it all the time. It's the cost of a pizza. I DoorDashed a hot chocolate and breakfast this morning. I paid $20 on DoorDash for hot chocolate and breakfast that I probably could have done it myself. And that was the same thing. And you could pay $19, and there's traders on the yesterday's best in express funded accounts. There's traders on the top 10 who's made tens of thousands of dollars on a 50K account, on a 100K account. So the account size doesn't really matter too much. So there's no excuse not to make money. There really isn't. If there was something like Topstep when I was starting out, I would be. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be a successful trader because I wouldn't have went through the hardship and the mental hardship that I went through losing my own money. So maybe there's an argument to be said that Topstep is pacifying you guys too much. That you're not dealing with the hardship that you really should to make a real trader. So there's my last argument to end my class. Topstep's being too nice to you guys. They're pacifying you guys and babying you too much that you're not learning the hard way to to show what it means to be a real trader. Just like kids, right? If you baby kids, and if you just keep treating them and giving them what they want, they don't learn the hard knocks of life, and they don't learn how to go through the hard stuff. So when they do face the hard stuff, they end up just crying. And that's what you guys do. I see it all the time. They get babied, free reset, free stuff, fire drill. Then when they go through the hard time, they can't handle it. So that's maybe why I see traders get to the top 10 and then they can't handle the pressure. All right. Yeah, there's my rant. So it's just being honest, guys. Like it's a give or take, right? It's true. Trading's cutthroat. There's nobody here to hold your hand as much as myself and everybody else here that do want to help new traders and help you guys be successful. It's the reality of trading. Nobody could trade for you. Nobody could hold your hand. And even if you want to go through and do it yourself, open up your own account. It's the reality. And there has to be tough love. There really has to be some level of tough love. And that's what it is, right? Blowing an account, daily loss limit, going through those hard times, but knowing that Topstep has been there to hold, and like they have your back from that aspect. So I better end it there, guys. Take care. I will see you tomorrow during Power Hour. See you, everybody. Bye.